Imagine waking up one morning feeling just a little more tired than usual. You tell yourself it is nothing, just part of getting older. Maybe you notice you get a little winded climbing the stairs, but you shrug it off. Perhaps your shoes feel tighter, but you blame it on the weather. Days turn into weeks, and these little changes become your new normal. But what if those small signs were your body's quiet way of asking for help? Heart trouble in seniors rarely announces itself with a dramatic event at first. Instead, it often whispers. Subtle clues appear, minor inconveniences that are so easy to overlook. Yet these gentle warnings can be the earliest signs that your heart is struggling, trying to keep pace with a life it once carried effortlessly. The tragedy is that most people ignore them, brushing them aside until something serious, even life-threatening, occurs. Today, we are going to change that. In this video, we will uncover 5 quiet symptoms of heart trouble that many seniors miss. Recognizing them early could mean the difference between a simple treatment plan and a devastating emergency. Stay with me, because the sooner you learn to listen to your body's whispers, the stronger and healthier your future can be. Before we dive into the first symptom, I want to take a quick moment to invite you to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us reach more wonderful people just like you. And while you are here, I would love to know, where are you watching from today? Share your city or country in the comments below. It is always heartwarming to see how far our community reaches. Point 1. Unexpected fatigue that is more than normal tiredness. Fatigue is a part of life, especially as we grow older. It is natural to slow down a little, to feel tired after a busy day or a long walk. But there is a type of fatigue that is different, quieter, more persistent, and far more concerning. It is a kind of exhaustion that does not match your activity level, one that leaves you feeling drained even after simple tasks. This kind of unexpected fatigue can be an early warning sign that the heart is struggling. When your heart is not pumping efficiently, your muscles and organs are not getting the oxygen and nutrients they need. The result is a deep, heavy fatigue that no amount of rest seems to fix. It is not just feeling tired after a long day, it is feeling worn out by ordinary activities, like folding laundry, walking to the mailbox, or even having a conversation. This fatigue is your body's quiet plea for attention, a sign that something deeper might be happening. Let me share a story about Margaret, a lively 76-year-old who loved gardening. Every spring, she would spend hours tending to her flowers, moving pots, and pruning bushes. But one year, Margaret noticed a change. Tasks that once brought her joy suddenly felt overwhelming. Pulling weeds left her breathless. Watering the garden felt like a chore. She brushed it off at first, thinking it was simply part of aging. But deep down, she knew something was not right. One afternoon, after only 20 minutes in the garden, Margaret felt so weak she had to sit down on the porch. Her heart was racing, and a wave of exhaustion washed over her. She told herself she just needed more rest. Days passed, but the fatigue lingered. Eventually, her daughter insisted she see a doctor. Tests revealed that Margaret's heart was not pumping blood as effectively as it should. She was diagnosed with early-stage heart failure, a condition that, caught early, could be managed with medication and lifestyle changes. Margaret's story is not uncommon. Many seniors experience a subtle but profound shift in their energy levels and dismiss it as normal aging. The truth is, when fatigue feels different, when it feels heavier, when it makes simple tasks daunting, it deserves serious attention. Ignoring it could mean missing the earliest and most treatable stages of heart trouble. So, what can you do if you notice unexpected fatigue in yourself or a loved one? Start by keeping a simple journal. Track how often you feel unusually tired, what activities trigger the exhaustion, and whether rest helps. Pay attention to patterns. Are you getting tired after activities that used to feel easy? Are naps becoming more frequent or less refreshing? It is also important to talk openly with your doctor. Share your observations, even if they seem small. Describe how your fatigue feels and when it happens. A good physician will listen carefully and may order tests like an EKG, blood work, or even a simple stress test to check how well your heart is functioning. Most importantly, trust your instincts. You know your body better than anyone else. If something feels different, do not dismiss it. Addressing early heart trouble can add not just years to your life, but life to your years. Small signs are your body's way of protecting you, and listening to them is one of the kindest, wisest things you can do for yourself. Now, let us move forward to the second quiet symptom that many seniors overlook, one that can be even easier to miss until it becomes dangerous. Point 2. Shortness of breath with simple activities. Breathing is something most of us take for granted. It is automatic, effortless, and as natural as blinking. But when breathing starts to feel harder, even just a little, it can be one of the earliest warnings that your heart is not working as it should. Shortness of breath during simple, everyday activities is not just a sign of getting older. It is your body sending you a message that should never be ignored. The heart and lungs work closely together. When the heart struggles to pump blood efficiently, the lungs are affected too. Blood can back up in the veins that return it from the lungs to the heart, causing fluid to leak into the lungs. This makes breathing harder, especially when lying down or exerting yourself. It can start so subtly that you might not even notice at first. A short walk to the kitchen feels a little tougher. Bending down to tie your shoes makes you catch your breath. You blame it on being out of shape or simply aging, but the truth might be far more serious. Take Walter, for example. At 81 years old, he was proud of how active he remained. Every morning, he walked to his mailbox at the end of his driveway and waved to his neighbors. It was a small but cherished routine. One morning, Walter noticed he was more out of breath than usual by the time he reached the mailbox. He paused, blaming the humid weather. But the breathlessness persisted. Over the next few weeks, Walter found himself stopping halfway down the driveway, leaning against the fence to catch his breath. He thought he needed more exercise, that maybe he had just gotten a little lazy over the winter. It was not until Walter nearly fainted while walking back to his house that he agreed to see his doctor. The diagnosis was early heart failure. His heart was not pumping efficiently enough to keep oxygen flowing smoothly through his body. The simple walk to the mailbox had turned into a warning that his heart was struggling. Thankfully, because Walter sought help when he did, his doctors were able to create a treatment plan that strengthened his heart and improved his breathing. Shortness of breath should never be brushed aside, especially if it is new, gets worse, or happens with activities that once felt easy. It can show up in many ways: struggling to walk across a room, needing to catch your breath after light chores, waking up gasping at night, or feeling unusually winded after climbing a few stairs. Sometimes, it even shows up as a tightness in the chest or a feeling like you cannot take a deep enough breath. If you notice these changes, the best thing you can do is pay close attention. When does the breathlessness happen? How intense is it? Does it get worse when lying down or after eating? Keeping a log of your symptoms can give your doctor valuable clues about what is happening inside your body. Also, remember that shortness of breath does not always mean immediate danger, but it does mean you should not wait. The earlier heart trouble is identified, the more options you have to treat it effectively. Treatments can range from medications to simple lifestyle changes, like managing salt intake, controlling blood pressure, and gentle exercises designed specifically for heart health. Breathing should feel easy. It should be the background to your life, not something you have to think about. If breathing becomes an effort, even during simple tasks, listen carefully. Your heart might be quietly asking for help. Coming up next, we will explore another silent signal that often creeps in without warning, one that many seniors chalk up to everyday swelling, but could actually be something much more serious. Point 3. Swelling in feet, ankles, or legs. At first glance, a little swelling in the feet or ankles might seem harmless. You might think it is just the heat, sitting too long, or perhaps a side effect of aging. After all, many seniors experience some puffiness now and then. But swelling, especially when it becomes a regular part of your day, can be a quiet yet powerful sign that your heart is struggling to do its job. When your heart is not pumping blood efficiently, fluid can begin to accumulate in the body's tissues. This is called edema, and it often shows up first in the lower parts of the body, your feet, ankles, and legs. Gravity pulls fluid downward, making these areas especially vulnerable. If left unnoticed or untreated, this fluid buildup can strain your heart even more, leading to worsening heart failure and other serious complications. Joan, a spirited 74-year-old grandmother, loved to spend her afternoons walking through her garden. She had always been light on her feet, tending to her roses and lilies with ease. One summer, she noticed her shoes felt tighter than usual. Her sandals, once loose and comfortable, now left deep impressions on her skin. She dismissed it as part of the heat wave they were experiencing. But as the weeks went on, Joan realized that her swelling did not go away at night. In fact, it seemed to worsen as the day progressed. Her daughter noticed that Joan's ankles looked puffy and asked if she had mentioned it to her doctor. Joan shrugged it off. "Just old age," she said with a smile. But deep down, she worried. One morning, after waking up with swollen feet and feeling unusually tired, Joan finally went to see her physician. After a simple examination and a few tests, she was diagnosed with early congestive heart failure. The swelling in her feet was not just a cosmetic issue, it was her body's way of signaling that her heart needed help. Stories like Joan's are not rare. Swelling can easily be dismissed or hidden by socks, shoes, or long pants, but it is a critical sign that should never be ignored. Pay attention if the swelling is persistent, gets worse by the end of the day, or is accompanied by other symptoms like fatigue, shortness of breath, or weight gain. There are simple ways to check for swelling at home. Press gently on the skin over your shin or ankle with your finger. If the skin leaves a noticeable dent that stays for a few seconds, called pitting edema, it could be a warning sign. Monitoring your weight regularly can also help. A sudden increase of 2 or 3 pounds in a day, or 5 pounds in a week, could be due to fluid buildup, not just changes in diet. The good news is that catching swelling early can lead to simple, effective treatments. Reducing salt intake, elevating your legs while sitting, wearing compression stockings, and adjusting medications can all make a big difference. More importantly, addressing the underlying heart issue can prevent the swelling from getting worse and protect your heart from further damage. If you notice that your feet or ankles are consistently swollen, or if they feel heavy and uncomfortable, do not brush it aside. Trust your instincts and seek medical advice. What seems like a small nuisance could be your heart's way of asking for a helping hand. Let us now move forward to the fourth quiet symptom, one that many people misunderstand because it does not always feel like the crushing chest pain we often associate with heart problems. Point 4. Mild chest discomfort or pressure, not just pain. When most people think about heart trouble, they imagine a dramatic, crushing chest pain, the kind you see in movies, where someone clutches their chest and falls to the ground. But in real life, especially for seniors, heart trouble often starts with something much quieter and easier to dismiss. Mild chest discomfort, subtle pressure, or an unusual sensation that is easy to overlook. This mild discomfort may not feel painful at all. It might feel like tightness, squeezing, fullness, or a strange pressure that comes and goes. It may not even seem serious enough to mention to your doctor. But this seemingly harmless feeling can be one of the earliest signs that the heart is struggling to get enough oxygen-rich blood. Frank, a 79-year-old retired teacher, was a strong, independent man who never liked making a fuss about his health. One evening after dinner, he noticed a slight squeezing feeling in his chest. It was not painful, just a little uncomfortable. He chalked it up to indigestion from the heavy pasta meal he had enjoyed. After all, he reasoned, he was getting older, and a little heartburn was nothing unusual. Over the next few weeks, Frank noticed the sensation more often after climbing stairs, walking around the block, or even after emotional conversations with his grandchildren. It was never overwhelming, just a nagging pressure that made him slow down and catch his breath. It was so mild that he never thought to call his doctor. That was until one afternoon when, after lifting a heavy box, the pressure became stronger, and he broke out into a cold sweat. Alarmed, he finally went to the emergency room. Tests revealed he had significant blockages in several arteries leading to his heart. Frank was lucky. By recognizing the change, even if it was late, doctors were able to intervene before he had a full heart attack. Frank's story reminds us that heart-related chest discomfort is not always the dramatic event we expect. Especially in seniors, symptoms can be far more muted. Women, in particular, are more likely to experience less typical signs of heart trouble, such as mild chest pressure, back pain, nausea, or even jaw discomfort. It is important to pay close attention to any new or unusual sensations in your chest area, even if they seem minor. Ask yourself, does it happen when you exert yourself? Does it go away when you rest? Does it feel like a pressure, heaviness, or fullness, rather than sharp pain. These are important clues. If you experience mild chest discomfort that comes and goes, do not wait for it to turn into severe pain. Contact your doctor promptly. They may recommend simple tests such as an electrocardiogram, EKG, or a stress test to evaluate how your heart is functioning under strain. Sometimes a few small lifestyle changes and medications can make all the difference in preventing a major heart event. Another important step is to be aware of accompanying symptoms. Chest discomfort paired with shortness of breath, nausea, lightheadedness, sweating, or discomfort in the neck, jaw, or arms is particularly concerning and needs immediate medical attention. Remember, your body is wise. It does not always shout when something is wrong. Sometimes it whispers, hoping you will listen before the problem becomes severe. Mild chest discomfort is one of those whispers. Taking it seriously can save your life or the life of someone you love. Coming up next, we will explore the fifth and final quiet symptoma sign that many seniors attribute to simple tiredness or dehydration, but can actually be a red flag waving for immediate attention. Point 5. Unexplained dizziness or lightheadedness. Everyone feels a little dizzy from time to time. Maybe you stood up too quickly, skipped a meal, or spent too much time out in the heat. But when dizziness or lightheadedness becomes a frequent visitor, especially without a clear reason, it can be a quiet, serious warning that your heart is not keeping up with your body's needs. The heart's primary job is to pump blood, rich with oxygen, to every part of the body. When it struggles to do that effectively, the brain can be one of the first areas to feel the effects. A sudden drop in blood flow to the brain can cause you to feel faint, unsteady, or as if the room is spinning. These episodes might last only a few seconds, but they are important clues that should never be ignored. Let me tell you about Eleanor, an 80-year-old woman who prided herself on her independence. One afternoon, while browsing through the aisles of her favorite bookstore, she suddenly felt lightheaded. She held onto a nearby shelf until the feeling passed. She laughed it off, thinking she must have skipped lunch without realizing it. But a few days later, it happened again, this time while she was sitting at home, quietly reading. No heat, no exertion, no reason she could explain. Eleanor noticed she was also feeling a little more tired lately, but she blamed it on the busy holiday season. It was not until she nearly fainted while gardening one morning that her daughter insisted she see a doctor. The diagnosis was sobering. Eleanor's heart was not pumping blood efficiently enough to keep her brain properly oxygenated. She had developed a type of heart rhythm problem that, if left untreated, could have led to a major cardiac event. Unexplained dizziness and lightheadedness can take many forms. It might feel like a momentary wave of unsteadiness when you change positions. It might show up as a sense that you are about to faint or that you cannot quite focus your eyes. Some people feel like they are floating or swaying, even while standing still. In seniors especially, these symptoms are often brushed off as part of aging or mild dehydration. But in reality, they can signal serious cardiovascular issues, including arrhythmias, heart valve problems, or heart failure. If you find yourself experiencing dizziness or lightheadedness more than once, take it seriously. Start by paying close attention to when it happens. Is it after standing up? After eating? During physical activity? While at rest? Are there other symptoms that accompany it, like a racing heart, chest discomfort, or blurred vision? Keeping a simple diary of these episodes can give your doctor valuable insights. One important safety tip: if you ever feel dizzy or lightheaded, sit or lie down immediately. Trying to push through it could lead to falls and serious injuries. Give your body a moment to recover and, if the feeling does not pass quickly, seek medical help. The encouraging news is that many causes of dizziness related to the heart can be managed once identified. Treatments might include adjusting medications, improving hydration, treating underlying rhythm problems, or strengthening heart function through medication and lifestyle changes. Most importantly, remember that your body is not trying to scare you, it is trying to communicate. Dizziness is not just about being tired or needing water. It can be your body's early, gentle cry for help. Listening closely could protect your independence, your health, and even your life. Now that we have uncovered all 5 quiet but powerful symptoms, let us take a moment to reflect on everything we have learned and why staying alert to these signs is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself and those who love you. As we reach the end of this journey together, I invite you to pause and truly reflect. Heart trouble does not always roar into our lives with dramatic warning signs. Often, it tiptoes in quietly, leaving subtle footprints like unexplained fatigue, breathlessness, swelling, chest discomfort, and dizziness. These signs are easy to dismiss, especially when life is busy or when we expect aging to bring new aches and limitations. But your body is wise. It speaks to you in ways that only you can hear if you are willing to listen. Each quiet symptom is a gentle nudge, a whisper reminding you to take care, to pay attention, to act before a serious event forces your hand. Recognizing these early signs can be the difference between a crisis and a second chance. Today, you have gained knowledge that can empower you or someone you love to live longer, healthier, and with greater peace of mind. It only takes a moment of awareness, a single brave conversation with your doctor, or a decision to honor what your body is trying to tell you. You deserve that kind of care. You deserve that kind of future. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If you learned something valuable or if a particular symptom resonated with you, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. Which of these signs surprised you the most? Please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another life-changing health update. Together, we are building a community of knowledge, hope, and strength. I look forward to seeing you in our next video.